Dr. Intan Azura Mokhtar.
Chairman, the last move to the retirement age to 62 years old and the re-employment age to 67 years old was made in 2017. Since then, there have been calls to review the next steps in promoting the employment of older workers. I understand there is an ongoing review of the retirement and re-employment ages. Can MOM share the progress of this review and if any outcome has been arrived at? In our Parliament sitting in February this year, we passed a combined motions on the elderly and caregiving. In my speech in support of that motion, I urged MOM to consider raising the CPF contribution rates for Singaporeans aged 55 years old and above, something which I had spoken about in this chamber before. As a Singaporean turns 55 years old, the CPF contribution rate is drastically reduced by 11% overall. I have asked for the CPF contribution rate to be restored to the current rate of 37% in total for ages 55 to 60 years old. Even if the CPF contribution rate is to be cut, it should be done progressively over several years, rather than a drastic 11% cut as you cross your 55th birthday. As more Singaporeans are marrying and having children later, at age 55 years old, many would still be servicing their housing mortgages, supporting school-going children, as well as elderly parents. While I recognize that the lower CPF contribution rates for older workers help them to remain employable, the reality is that there is already a trade-off in terms of having saved up enough for retirement and in fulfilling their current financial commitments towards housing, education, and caregiving for elderly parents. At 55 years old, many Singaporeans will still be economically active. Restored CPF contribution rates will help in paying housing loans, education and tuition fees for the children, and additional medical expenses for elderly parents. Is there scope to revise upwards the CPF contribution rates of older workers aged 55 years old and above, while at the same time maintaining their employability?